Hello everyone, welcome to the Conversation Masterclass with Mr. Madhav Chavan 2022. Before we start the masterclass, may I introduce myself first? Hello, my name is Shofia. I'm the Student Council member from Indonesia. I'm 18 years old and I love to singing, love to listening music, and sometimes I love to editing the photos and videos. Today I'm not alone, but I accompanied by my partner from Saudi Arabia, Abdulrahman. So Abdulrahman, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Abdurrahman Karabilo. I'm 16 years old and I'm representing Saudi Arabia. I like programming, coding, and robotics, and I am currently working on a project about helping deaf mothers hear or notice their baby better.
Okay.
Back to you, Shofia.
All right.
Thank you, Abdulrahman, for your introduction. So today we are meeting with Mr. Madhav Chavan, co-founder of Pratham Education Foundation, and also the one of board members Design for Change. Today we are going to learn many things from your experience and your achievements.
Okay.
We're honored to have you here, Madhav. And as a start, can you share with us a little bit about yourself?
I am 68 years old. I started this organization with a few colleagues, so I'm a co-founder of the Pratham Education Foundation. And over the last 25 years or so, 30 years or so, we've worked largely in the area of children's learning. What we found was that children go to school, and this is not obvious, but children go to school, but even after 5 years of schooling, half of them can't read. Now, we were all under the impression that if you set up a school and children go to school, then they will learn and they will get education. But what we found out was not exactly true. So that this is not exactly true. So sometimes it is a very simple thing that you uncover or discover, but it can be a big revelation. So
Yeah.
once we found that out, we also worked on solutions to the problem. How do you actually help children learn better? How do you help children catch up? And now we are moving on to some other ideas about how to help children learn better. There's some questions and so on. That's what we are.
Okay.
That's what Pratham is. Next question.
Thank you, Mr. Madhav, for your introduction, your kind introduction. So I will tell you first that in this masterclass, we will ask you two types of questions. So the first round is some serious questions, and after that, we move to the some rapid fun questions. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Great. So we will start the first questions. Can you tell us about your childhood and any memorable experience from that?
No, I didn't get the question. Tell you something about what?
About your childhood.
Childhood.
Yes.
My childhood was very interesting. I grew up in a large commune of friends. My father was a trade union leader, and he and his friends all shared one house, one big apartment, and I was the only child in that house, and everybody else was grown up. And on any given day, this was like a very large joint family, which I suppose you have seen in your countries. And we used to all eat 20, 25 people in the same house and so on. And I went to school, and I had to listen to all the elderly people, and very little that I could do myself. So, but I got to hear many stories. My father was participating in protests of workers and so on. So I got to participate in processions and protest marches. So that was a very interesting childhood and a very interesting experience. If I tell you a memory, I remember some stories from my childhood, which have helped me in my work later on. So one story I remember, there was this Emperor Akbar, a Mughal emperor in India, and he had a minister called Birbal. These stories of Akbar and Birbal very well known in India. Some of them are true, some of them are not true. But they're interesting. The story impacted me a lot. There are many stories that impacted me. So this Birbal, the young Birbal, was in a market once, and suddenly an elephant who had gone mad because of somebody must have given him liquor or whatever. So he was running helter skelter, and people were screaming, scared because the elephant was coming their way, and nobody knew what to do about the elephant. They were running away, and Birbal was watching all this, and he was wondering what to do. And the elephant was coming towards him, and then Birbal decided now he has to do something about it. There was a dog standing next to him. Before the dog realized what was going on, Birbal picked up the dog with his one leg and swung him and threw him at the elephant. The dog went and hit the elephant on the forehead. Can you imagine what a child, how a child enjoys this story? And the elephant was shocked. He didn't expect this to happen at all. He just froze in his tracks. He just stood, and then he calmed down and went back his way. And everybody appreciated what Birbal had done. They asked him, "But why did you pick up the dog and throw? Why didn't you pick up a stick or a stone or something? Why the dog?" So Birbal said, what I have, I can lay my hands on is the weapon. I can't look for the appropriate weapon or appropriate tool. What I can use is what I must use when there is a big problem I have to face. Now, this is very interesting, and unfortunately, I can't translate it in Hindi. In Hindi, Hathiyar is something that you use. Hath is hand. Hathiyar is something that you wield with your hand. Okay? So, what you can lay your hands on is the weapon. Don't wait for the right weapon to come. And this was very important for me later on. We had no money, we had no trained people, and there's a huge problem we were facing, and we had to do something. We said, okay, we'll work with what we have and go from there. That was important. And there is another story. I'm sorry I'm taking a little long, but there is a Chinese philosopher poet called Lao Tzu. You should look him up. I'm quoting him. He says, "Go to the people, love them, live among them, learn from them, start with what they have, start with what they know, build on what they have. When it is done, they will say we did it ourselves." So these two, the story and this poem are similar. They're saying don't wait for a new tool to be developed. Start with what they know. Yeah, build on what they have. Don't wait for new things to come. And that's how you will do good work. So this story and this poem have both helped me uh, as a guide in my work. There are other things also. There are other stories, but there's not enough time. Go ahead.
Very fun stories. Next question. Having a PhD in chemistry,
Yeah.
how did you end up doing social work?
Well, how did I end up doing PhD is the question. So as I said, I grew up in a household. My father, as I told you, was a trade union worker, and he was always among people, working with the problems of people and so on. So I was influenced by him and his colleagues a lot, that you have to do something good for people around you. Not consciously, but it was something on my mind. But after when I joined college, I felt that I need to do something different. And that's how I started working, going to a college and trying to learn chemistry. So I learned chemistry, and I was going to pursue a career as a chemist, as a teacher of chemistry and a researcher of chemistry. But what happened was, in India at that time, there was a national literacy mission. And the Prime Minister of India at that time, Rajiv Gandhi, had appealed to people, especially young people, to say that we should launch different technology missions and young people should participate in these and change the country. India at that time was about half of India was illiterate. And the goal was put that we should make India literate by the end of the century. And so the government was mobilizing people in this. So I was influenced by this movement and I thought I should participate. There's a story associated with it, but if I keep on telling you all the nice stories, then there won't be enough time. But it was under the influence of this movement for national literacy that I started working. So I wanted to become a part of something much bigger, something that was much bigger than me, something in which many other people are involved. And that's what a movement is. So I started participating in it. And then I found that an educated person like me, I had studied in the United States, lived in the United States, and come back to India. And the poorer people in India with whom I was working felt very strongly a bond with me. They wanted to work with me. They respected me. They liked what I was doing, and I could not abandon them. I could not let go and say, no, I won't want to go back to my chemistry. So the people who were working with me, a number of people, they kept joining. Uh, we grew in numbers, and it was difficult for me to let go of this literacy work and go back to chemistry. So I gave up chemistry. I was not going to win a Nobel Prize working on chemistry, so I decided I'll work on literacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Madhav, for your answer. Let's move to the fourth questions. We read that you won the Wise Prize for Education. So can you tell us about your experience and what made you qualify for it?
I don't know what made me qualify for it. I really don't know. The funny thing is, one day, so I was supposed to go to WISE to give a talk. They had invited me to go give a talk, and I said, yes, I will come. And then I realized that the day the WISE talk was scheduled was a festival day in India, Diwali.
Oh, yeah.
And so I thought maybe I should stay home with the family and not go to Qatar. So I let them know that I can't come because I have to stay with my family. A few days later, a week or two later, I got a phone call. A lady was talking. She said, uh, Sheikh Abdul Dhanani wants to talk to you. I said, who, what? She said, you will know. He will talk to you. So the Sheikh came on phone and he said, Dr. Chavan, I hear you cannot come to Qatar because of your family festival. So what are we going to do now? I said, I don't know. I can't come. I just have to spend time with my family. So he said, how about we bring your family over with you to Qatar so you can have Diwali here? So I said, why would you do that? He said, because we are giving you the Wise Prize. So your family can come with you. So I had no idea that there was something going on and that I was selected. And I don't know why I was, well, they did say that I had done good work. The organization had done a lot of work, have impacted millions and millions of children's lives and all that. So I suppose that is what qualified me. But I don't know that that qualified. I'm not sure because I never applied for it. There was no application. Yeah, for WISE, there is no application process.
Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on. We're moving on to the next question. What challenges may superheroes encounter on their journey to achieve their own goals? And what we can learn from your own experience?
So, superheroes is a term I don't like. Uh, Everybody has to be a hero in his own life. You have to do things for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your society. Uh, and I, frankly, because I don't believe in superheroes, I believe that people have to dedicate whatever efforts they have. Uh, their efforts have to be directed at sometimes even small things. The superheroes, we think, that these are superheroes who do big things in the world. That's not necessary. Sometimes focusing on the thing that you are doing. So I can tell you from my life that when I started working on the problem of primary education, the goal was big, but we decided that we will start with, as I said, with what we have and work with the children in the slums. It was not small scale, but it was not something that we said is going to become, global. And we focused on what we were doing. We were not in a hurry to grow, and it started working. Once we succeeded, once we learned something, we could teach other people what we had learned, and we moved on. And as we succeeded, more people joined in. As I said earlier, once we saw success, when other people saw that we were good, that uh, we had something to contribute to their knowledge and their efforts, they also joined. So I think the important thing is to focus on what you are doing and keep at it and not run helter skelter, not go all over the place. Otherwise, some people will talk about all the big things in the world, but not focus on the work that they should do and succeed. You can keep saying that I've done a lot of good work, but there has to be proper evidence of what you've done and how you've done. So once you do that, yes, maybe other people will appreciate what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. So the important thing is focus what our goals.
Now
Yeah.
focus on the
But
work
it,
that you are doing,
oh
not
yeah,
not necessarily goals. Whatever you are doing, focus on it and do it well.
yes.
Then when you are doing it, then you will know that some things are not working out. Then you try to correct them. Then you continuously focus on what you are doing and make sure that what you do is done well. And then
Oh
you are successful in what you are doing.
Yeah.
You can grow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So in this your projects and your projects, uh is there anybody help you and any names that you would like to give credit to?
A lot of people, everybody except me. So,
Sure.
so I am very lucky in that I got so many friends and colleagues who started working with me. So the current CEO of Pratham, Rukmini Banerjee, she was she had worked in the US and she studied in the US and she came back to India and she joined Pratham in the early days. There was another, and she is a PhD in education. Uh, of course, she will say, no, 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 nothing of the sort, but she's a very modest person. But she made a big contribution to Pratham from the very beginning. There was there is Usha Rani, who was another colleague, Farida Lambe, who was my first colleague who formed Pratham organization with me. So all these people were there. But apart from this, there were other people. Like in the early days, we did not have money. And then I met one Mr. Wagul, who was the chairman of Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, ICICI. If you go to India, you will see this bank, ICICI Bank, which is the largest private bank in India.
Yeah.
Uh, Before it became a bank, it was a credit and investment corporation. and Mr. Wagul was the chairman of that organization. He supported us, and he started talking about how important our work was to other people, which meant that we got many more people supporting us. So there's one gentleman called Vijay Goradia in the United States. He and I landed in the US. We did not know each other. And in those days, everybody landed in the United States with very little money. Now he is a billionaire, and I'm still only earning $100 a whatever day. so, uh, so all these people not only supported me, but they made this their own cause. There is a difference. For me to say that hundreds of people have supported me is one thing, but I think what happened was, like I said in the poem, uh, people will say that they did it themselves. So all these people made it their own work. They were not working because Madhav was saying so. They were working because they owned the work, and they were interested in completing the work for their own reasons, not because I was saying. So this literally hundreds of people have worked with this, and I can't take sole credit for this. Although of course there's always one person central to some work, and in that sense people will say yes, Madhav Chavan is the one, but that is not strictly true.
Yeah, so all those people, not to help you, but to benefit their community as well.
Yeah, very much, very much. Their community, their country, their own dreams. Yeah.
So we're going to start with the rapid fire round.
Oh.
We finished the main questions.
Yes.
First question: are you comfortable being interviewed by kids?
Yes. Why not?
100%.
100%. Why? Why do you ask that question?
I don't know. It's such fun questions, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm not comfortable, I'll tell you. I said, oh, I don't like this question. I'll tell you that.
Okay, let's move to the second questions. If you had to be shipwrecked on a deserted island, but all... do you get it?
No.
Okay, I will repeat that. If you had to be shipwrecked on a deserted island, but all your human needs like food or water were taken care of, what two items would you want to?
I would like a camera and something, camera and music.
Music.
Yes. So you relax and like take photos.
Yeah. Okay.
If you had the choice between two superpowers, being invisible or flying, which one would you choose and why?
Flying. But I don't like being invisible. I'm among people. I like to be among people. I like flying because then you can go anywhere you want. It's great fun. I've always looked at birds and felt that that's what I would love to do. But I've never gone flying.
Well, I'm agree with you. I think I was just flying too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So, how many languages can you speak, and which one you use the most often?
I speak 3 languages. I speak very fluently. I can understand another 2, so about 6 languages. But yeah, realistically 3 languages. No, say not 6, 5. So realistically 3 languages. And the one that I use most is hard to say now, because Marathi is my mother tongue, but unfortunately, nobody around me, when I'm in Delhi, nobody around me speaks Marathi. So I would say I was using Marathi a lot, but I think now more Hindi and English. I, hard to answer that question. It's about 30, 30% each.
Okay.
English, yeah.
Yeah.
Work language is English. Yeah.
Can you repeat?
Okay, sorry.
Language of work. Actually, I should take that back because I do work. My work
Yeah.
is in English and in Hindi both. So it's more like I use those two languages most.
Oh, English and
Yeah.
Hindi.
English and Hindi, yeah.
You know so many languages. I only know two.
That's because I grew up in a metropolitan city where there were people speaking different languages, there were different religions, and so
Yeah.
on. So
Yeah.
in Mumbai, the Mumbai municipal school system, once upon a time, used to have schools of eight language media, eight. So eight different. There were schools in Mumbai. Now it's I think four or something. Okay, next
Yeah.
question.
So now, do you read books? And if so, what's your favorite book?
I don't read as many books now. I used to once upon a time. I don't anymore.
Mm.
What kind of
I'll
books?
tell you.
What?
I like biographies.
Hmm?
But I can tell you which book I loved. I like stories, and I'll refer from my childhood. I remember again something that I was fascinated by, and I used for my work also later on, inspiring. There's a story called Johnny Appleseed from my childhood. My mother brought me that book when I was a little kid,
Yes.
and I loved it. So
Mm.
it's about a man who went around planting seeds, apple seeds, from village to village to village, town to town to town. And then when he came back, they had all become orchards of apples and so on. So it's a
Yeah.
fascinating story. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
bookstores also have many learning from that.
Yes. That's an old one.
Yes.
I like
Okay.
historical books and biographies.
Mm. So, Mr. Madhav, do you have any unique talent?
Any what? Sorry,
Unique talent.
I didn't understand that.
It's like a talent that not usually everyone has.
Talent,
Yes, talent.
unique talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can wriggle my ears. I can wriggle my ears.
Sorry.
That's not a talent, but it's unique.
Hey,
What else is there unique? Nobody else has, so that's why I said I can wriggle my ears. Very few people can wriggle their ears. Yeah.
But you're such an amazing person.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What? Show you how I wriggle my ears?
No, no, no.
What do you
I
want?
said to Abdurrahman.
No, so that's the unique talent that I have. If I were to go on India's Got Talent, that's what I would do.
you would go to talent show and show them you can wiggle your ears.
I don't think they will accept me, but there's nothing else. I can sing. I can sing quite well, but
Oh,
I can't play any musical instruments. Like I told you, I want a camera. I like to take good pictures. I take very good pictures, I think.
mm,
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah.
so good.
Okay.
So,
Are we
to the
done?
next question.
Oh, there is still question. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, like a few, just a few.
Okay.
If there was one power that could be given to every child in the world, what would it be?
Imagination, which already they already have. All children have imagination. The
So you would
power to use that imagination uh, and do things with it. That is what people need. Otherwise, people are losing their imagination. We kill imagination of children. That should not happen. They should be able to preserve their imagination and build upon it.
yeah.
Yeah. That was the last question. Thank you so much, Mr. Madhav, you being here with us today. I
Yeah,
learned
thank you.
a lot from your experience and got to know more things from your perspective, of course. And it's actually my first time interviewing someone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also English is not my first language, so I feel a bit nervous.
Yeah, that's okay. English is not my first language either.
Yeah. But
Okay.
today is such a great experience, and I learned how to prepare, how to conduct an interview. Yeah, it's what I feel. And how about you, Abdul Rahman?
So much to learn from you. And wow, that went real quick.
Yeah.
Very quick. That's true.
Yes.
I wish we were all in one single room, having
Yeah.
a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and chatting away.
Yes, that was the last question. Thank you, Madhav, for being with us and so much to learn from you. We hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.